Okay, so Mike's coming on here. I made a card, stat card for the Goblin, which is a Bugain in England. Again, taking the weakest score, because again, it's a solo adventure. I split up each one equally, since it's a even number. And then to get stamina points, you add reflexes and willpower, and which would be 40, and you divide them by 5. So it gives you 8 stamina points. For the body, you divide physical by 5. So it came out with 4. Okay. So that would be the fitness, the fitness. So the fitness divided by 5, 20. Okay, so it's 4 body points. So I deducted 2 glamour, which is like it's magic, because it used it to become an owl, and then it used it to become a attractive younger woman, and it's down to 6. So if they fight, which could be for a little bit here, any points are usually going to go towards the stamina, unless it's lethality. Okay, if I roll that number or below, goes to the body. Okay, even so, I think when you do the stamina points, when you're done with the stamina, I think it's a knockout, I believe. But known glamours, these are the magic. Conceal and transform uses 1 stamina point each, and never fails. Used on its turn. Okay. So let's do a little bit more atmosphere, because this game, it begs for atmosphere. Let me go get my list here and see what else comes from the conversation here, besides just kind of, improving. Alright, got 21 on the descriptor. Dirty. Dirty descriptor. It's getting dirty, okay. 67. Quickest way to a man's vulnerability is through a little bit of dirty talking here. 67. Move. Alright, move. Dirty and move. Okay, we'll just say that the creature is trying to seduce Stanley here, and she's looking all good, and dressed nicely with mistletoe. She's holding the mistletoe above him, and she, she's got winking, and she's moving around nicely, and she's in nice shape, probably dressed in green with like red hair all over. And Stanley kind of takes his hat off, and he's just he puts it over his heart. He's like, oh miss, oh, I'm infatuated. And as she goes in for a kiss, she quickly grows, and she's got the surprise on him, so she's gonna go. And the descriptors is like, they like to, these buggards or whatever, these goblins, these bugains, they like evil tricks, and they like to harm humankind. And so they're evil creatures, so I'm for sure the thing's going to try to either kill them or eat them or something like that. So it gets a surprise attack. So we're going to go right into combat. So again, using its fitness, reflex. All it's got to do is roll under the reflex. And yeah, let's see here. And I believe it's the 1 has to go under for the body point. Let's see here. Let's see. So it's going to go in front of bite on his neck, and I'm going to give it a bonus. Since he's right there and he's infatuated, I'm going to give it a plus 20. So that's 40. All it's got to do is roll under 40. And it doesn't. Alright, since its reflexes are 20. Alright, since the 4 is in the 10 spot. So it's 45. Whew! So as it goes in, its head goes back, and he's able to snap out of it due to his reflexes and his that he gained from all that time on the field, and he's able to jerk his head back as she snaps at his neck. He's he goes, not so he goes, not so fast there. And he looks at her just a split second, and he's going to push her to the ground and hopes to knock it down and get out of there. But let's ask a question. He does have a saw. I'm going to ask him, does he have an axe? I'm going to say, let's see. What are the odds that he has an axe? I'd say pretty good. I'd say very likely he's got an axe. So I got to roll 16 to 75 that he has that as a weapon. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So very like 1 to 15 is an exceptional yes. So not only is it an axe, but it's got an extra sharp. Like he just sharpened his axe. So he has got a good weapon. But again, he's just going to push it to the ground in hopes that whatever it is, will leave him alone. So he's got to roll under a... Oh boy, where did I put his stuff? Good thing I had it right here. His reflexes for this are 41. And he doesn't. And so, yeah. So I believe now it's on the initiative is back up. So let me check the initiative rules. Okay, so the character with the higher reflex goes first, which in this case, surprisingly, is Stanley. He's got a 41 reflex. So I roll D10. I'm making the green one. And the 10's placed, so he gets it. He add 10%. So it would be 2. I'm sorry. 4. It would be 4. So, yeah, because 10%. 4. Oh, and round it. Is it round it down or round it up? Round it down. So, 10%. Yep, it's 4.1 rounded down, so it's 4. So he goes first. Good. 7 rounded, plus 4 rounded down, so it's 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, let's see what her initiative is. You roll initiative every combat round in this. So it's kind of like old D&D a little bit there. Alright, 2, and it adds 2. 10% of its reflex is 2. So it's only at 4. So the highest goes next. And rather than hack into a bestial woman, who he assumes that's what she is at this point, he makes a run for it. So he's going to run. Now, he's going to go for the car. It's like, just heck with this, you know, it's not worth it. And he's running towards his car. And let's see. The running. I think it's a fitness score with the movement. So we go running. He's going to sprint. In a burst of speed, in which his character tries to cover a short distance as quickly as he can, each turn your character can take. Each turn your character can sprint meters equal to twice his fitness score. So, for example, a character with 32 fitness sprints 64 meters in 10 seconds. So that's pretty good. So 32. So his fitness is, in this case, it's 41. And let's see here. Twice his fitness. So twice his fitness is 82 meters. So I don't know what that equals out to with feet right now. Sprinting can be kept up for turns equal to... I'll show you. Sprinting can be kept up for the turns equal 1/10 of your character's fitness, rounded down. So amazingly unfit characters, those with a fitness of 7 or less, cannot sprint or run, although they can still walk at normal speed. So let's see, 1/10 of the fitness. So I'd say that's what, 10%. Yeah, so it's still 4 minutes. For turns, so 4 turns. So I don't know about minutes, but 4 turns. So I'd say that's enough time to get away. I don't think they went that far, to get to the car. So it's 4 turns. Now this is where I'm going to ask to see if it chases after him. Does it chase after him? And since it's an evil character, I'm going to say it's likely. Although not very likely, because you could say, well, maybe it just wants to play around, or it's just bugged that he's out there cutting down trees, And so we'll say likely. Will it chase him? $20. Yes, I think it's going to. Yep. It's likely. Okay. So, chase is on. Its score. Which I would think would be pretty fast, but this is a weak version of the character. So you got its fitness is 20. Okay. So 10% of 20, I believe, is 2. Yeah. And so what does that equal to? I'm trying to remember right now. Shucks. I guess I should have that in my character, in the combat thing. Let's see here. I don't know if I put that in here. There it is. Sprinting. Speed a character can sprint in meters equal to twice his fitness. Kept up for turns equal to 1/10 of your character's fitness rounded down. So 2 turns. Meters. How many meters? Twice of, so 20. So it's 40 meters. Okay. Gonna have to abstract this a little bit. So 40 meters for 2 turns. Okay. So I think he's gonna outrun this this thing. Yeah. So this is where I can kind of, this is like a chase rule thing. And I could ask Mythic just to make it more dramatic. Is it able to catch up with him on some level? You know, I'd say I'll put it at unlikely. I put it on very unlikely. How about that? So it's got to get 6 to 25 for it to do that. Just to make things interesting. No. Extreme no. This thing is out of shape. I gave it a chance. I gave it a chance. It's an exceptional no. So he lucked out. Maybe it might not. It might just be. It's frustrated, or it finds some other target, or some other thing to do. Let me see. I could roll that up. Let's see. $24. So 24. Disagreeable. That's a description. 46. Failure. Action. Yeah, I think it's flustered. I think that has something to do with it. That it's not quite in shape like it used to be. Maybe the long walk through the forests. You know, maybe it's kind of starving. There could be a few reasons. Maybe the combination of all of them. But whatever the case is, our boy Stanley lives to make it another day. And yeah, so he makes it to the car. And he sees it. I'm going to ask, is the old man still there? Is Henry still there? He seemed like he was going to stay around for a little bit. But I'd say it's probably very unlikely, since he said his wife wanted him to get back. He probably didn't want to get in trouble. So let's see. Okay, did Henry take off? I'm going to say it like I said. I'm going to say it's very likely. $51. Yes. He took off. So Stanley gets into his vehicle, takes a deep breath. He opens it up. He doesn't even check to see if there's anything behind him. He gets into his car, and they make sure everything goes correctly. I ask Mythic, does he make it? And let me adjust this lighting. Might be a little bit too bright here. Sorry, guys. Take it down a little bit. So that will be, does everything go okay? I'd say I'll say it's say it's likely. With all the weirdness going on in the wind. Uh-oh. 76. No. Something happened. Oh boy. Oh. Oh. Stanley flew away here. Darn it. I don't know. The token went flying. Where'd you go, Stan? Well, the show must go on. So I'll do this theater of the mind. Let's see what happens. Words. 39. Heavy. It's a plot twist. 55. Good. Good and heavy. Action heavy. Action good. Description heavy. Something heavy, but it's good. Does it have something to do with the wind? I'd say it's very likely. 35. Yes. So the wind picks up on his way back. So what could happen that's good that doesn't have to do with him getting to his car? See, this is the thing. This is the plot twist. Let's see. I'm gonna keep rolling. 27. Extravagant. $57. Harm. Extravagant, good, harm. I'm going to keep rolling. I'm just going to say, I don't know, I'm going to keep going. If I don't get something on this roll, I'm going to make something up. 14. No, 74. 70. That looked like a 1 from where I stand. Okay. 74. Perfect. Whoops. D8. Again, harm. Alright, so this is what I'm going to say. A wind, a gust of wind, has driven, is kind of pushed the car, although I don't think you would put it in neutral. But something about this wind has done something supernatural. I'd say something happens to Stanley after this wind sweeps him up, and I think he might have hurt himself on the car somehow. He might have tripped, and I think he's in La La Land. I think he's dreaming of maybe at first he thought he was being harmed by this fairy goblin, this woman, and whatever this thing was. But now he has a dream of this beautiful Christmas tree in his home, and maybe whoever's left of his family is there, and they're having Christmas dinner. It's an extravagant Christmas dinner, and they're all, they're having a toast to Stanley and for having such a fine Christmas tree, and having such a fine Christmas chicken dinner, right? So I could conclude it there. I could say he gets knocked out. Maybe he wakes up somewhere. It could be a cliffhanger. Maybe he wakes up in a hospital. In hospital, let's see. As they say over there in the UK, in hospital. So I'll ask Mythic, is he in the hospital? I'd say it's very likely. '83, I think that's a no. So he's not in the hospital. So I'm not going to roll. I'm going to say he's not in the hospital, but he's found by... He's found by someone. And maybe... let's see here. Maybe they found his keys and they drove him home, or they drove him to their home, and so he's at somebody's place, and he's got to explain what happened, and he's dreaming. He wakes up. I'd say that's nearly certain. I'll say that's nearly certain. Okay. Still high. Whew, that's right on the edge. I'd say it's yes. Whew. So it's yes, it's almost a no. So, maybe instead of that, maybe he's at the local, since the last adventure, the police were involved, and they almost took him away. Let's just say that he's at the police station. Now he's got to explain himself. And yeah, maybe he's on in a bed in there. Or they have him on a gurney, something like that. And that's what we'll leave off. And it could be I could role play the next adventure saying that, okay, he's explaining to them what happened. They don't believe him, or maybe they do, because fairies is they're part of the fabric and of the reality of this campaign world. They're a little bit more up front and center. So that's where it could leave off. An unusual twist, but kind of a whimsical adventure, and I'll write that in there as the last scene. And so yeah, I didn't have to do the second trigger, so I crossed it out. One trigger was enough, and it kind of got to it with everything. Having these NPC characters ready to go, that's helpful. But yeah, having a good hook for the beginning of your adventure is important. Having at least 1 to 2 triggers, so you can, if it goes completely off the rails, you can kind of bring it back on again, is really good. I like the roll under system. I always like roll under, from D&D to Call of Cthulhu and all that stuff. So that's great. But it makes sense. This story makes sense, and the first adventure made sense too. And so I'm glad that it didn't go too off the rails. everything lined up. Like I said, the campaign is all about. It's not supposed to be a combat-oriented thing. I mean, you can make it that way, but in its natural organicness is kind of a politics. They're kind of like the class system, fairies and the supernatural incorporated with all that. I kind of like the rule where you're not interacting with so many people, but you're out in the country. That's kind of fun. I might do an adventure where Stanley goes into town, you know, because I can kind of relate to this a little bit. You know, I go up north. There's a cabin up north, and it's rustic, but then you have to drive a little bit, you know, a few miles to get to the town, and that's where there's more people. And maybe he goes to the big city, and maybe he goes to London for an adventure or two, and he gets involved with some people that are up to no good or part of a cult or something like that. But I like the whimsical kind of nature of it. There's a lot. It's a lot about. They really want you to portray things as like with the fairies as mystical. A lot of it unknown and unexplainable, larger than, I mean, just very mystical. They want that to be a part of the whole thing, and I think putting in as much atmosphere as you can helps. Although I didn't do too much, I put in a little bit with the valleys and the sun rays going through the clouds and the trees and all that, but. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. I'm sure this would be Christmas time by the time you guys see this, so Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year. And this was kind of like my little Christmas present to you guys to get this adventure out with a Christmas theme to it. Although it didn't really end up too good for him. It could have been worse. Maybe he goes back and he says, I'm gonna give it another try. And he gets his tree. I could do just a quick mythic thing to see if he goes back and gets his tree without any issues. Because I feel bad. He was kind of denied that. So, or maybe he'll just get some kind of. Maybe he'll do a drawing or have somebody make a drawing of a tree or something. Who knows? Or a painting. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And Merry Christmas. And keep on solo questing. Even through Christmas break. All right. Thanks for watching.